Today I'm going to be doing a lecture on ancient prayer, and we're gonna look at a specific or concise subject regarding prayer. This is like a one side to look at it, or a different perspective, just to give you an idea what happens when you start looking into a fifth dimensional way of interfacing with the world and your brain, your subconscious brain, to do with like your pineal gland and stuff like that. So if we could start with the definition, I got a generic definition, which is prayer. Okay, according to the Greeks or the Western perspective or lens. It says here, prayer solemn request for help or expression of thanks addressed to God, okay, or deity. A religious service. It's a religious service, especially a regular one, and which people gather in order to pray together. Okay, an earnest hope or wish. Okay, so if we wish to go and look at a deep understanding of it, we need to understand where the origin of this term actually came from. We can look at the etymology. So this is just some things that we add into the methodology to understand a bit more of what this actually means. Okay, it's asking, okay, earnestly, begging. That's also they're begging someone. They put someone here, which is just an example. In the 1300s, in a religious sense, pray to a god or saint. Okay, so we need to actually understand these words. Like if you start studying the definitions of things like saint, begging, okay, religion, that's more generic. From Old French, prior or prière, to pray, modern French prior. From Vulgar Latin preco, also source of Italian pregare, okay, from Latin precari, ask earnestly, beg, entreat. It's another word from prex, okay, plural, presses, genitive, prayer, request, entreaty. So this, when you start looking at words that's got this like titty, or it says entreaty, you got to think of things like sovereignty. Okay, there's some kind of royal aspect as well, which is kind of attached to this word. Prec, to ask, so it's a request as well. Entreat, okay, you know when the governments or like politicians say treaty, this is a treaty. That's kind of weird. You can kind of connect these words, because the thing is, when you start studying English language, you need to understand that most of the words they have like double meaning, and they have like condensed words inside of them. Like this, it's got pray and it's got er, okay, request, request. So you see, that's how you break words together. If you want to break words or condense them into like a micro understanding, that's how you would do it. Okay, so here it says from early 14th century as to invite. Okay, I can even add things like invoke, conjure, okay, or revoke. Some words like that. You can always add that to this. The differential paraphentical expression: I pray you, please, if you will. See, will. When people die, they have a will, or somebody can say, "I will this." And in the Bible, this also is applied to free will. Okay, so when we start talking about free will, we're also tapping into things like sovereignty, galactic laws, and actual laws on this planet. Okay, those are other things you can actually add to that. Okay, if you will. Tested, it's like being tried in a court system. So we also have to understand there is a court system in this world, and there's also a court system on a spiritual level, and there's also a court system in the conscious level or dimensions. There's different governing or governors of different aspects or different levels of reality. Really, that's what it means here. So if I can go to this was contracted to pray and whatever, praying, and there's also this praying mantis. Okay, praying mantis. Okay, that's all good. Okay, so praying mantis. So when it starts using words like mantis, you can think of Atlantis, and you can think of insect, because a mantis is an insect. Okay, so praying mantis, praying ants or insectoids. Okay, of Atlantis. Okay, you see how that goes to it. Praying locust is from 1752. So they even got locusts there. So when they start talking about insects and stuff, they're basically talking about insectoids, which are a species of beings from another planet, which are responsible for all the insects on the planet. That's what it means. Okay. So if we look at purple rain, prayers of the third eye dimensional travel, we can look at people that were able to do this through sound, or the vibration of sound. Okay, so we got Prince, who was passed the torch from Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was known for the purple, and we have Prince known for purple. And today, the closest person to actually move this theory or theme is actually Future. As you see here, he's got his album or mixtape called Purple Rain, and it's even typed rain as in reigning of a king or reigning of a royal bloodline. So when we start thinking about what are these things talking about, we can go to here. So we have a prism, which is a crystal or a diamond. What happens is if you shine the sunlight into this, you would get all these rays. Okay, see all these rays? All these rays. So these colors of the rainbow, you find them in like Olympics, LGBT flags, things like that, because these are the rays of creations or rays of your like different colors of your chakra system. And when we look at this is the tree of life. Yeah. So there is an aspect of it which is a quantum computer, which is this, which is part that kind of it interfaces with your being, and your being has to go through these stages within itself to climb through the dimensions. As you can see here, it's like fifth, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and it goes all the way to the seventh dimension, which is the crown. Okay, so it's like climbing through a tree of life. That's basically what prayer is about, and that's kind of like a much more profound understanding of the term prayer. Okay, so other ways that people interface with these things is actual studying the colors and why we see that purple rain or purple haze or purple syrup. Okay, why these things are always this one is always associated with like your crown or your highest level of actual prayer, which is purple rain. Yeah, your Merkaba purple, some even ruby or emerald. Okay, so these are some of the things we look at. We got the cosmic purple. Okay, we got the lotus flower purple. We have the crystal or amethyst purple. We have Future, who's also purple. We have the Milky Way, which is also purple. We have Prince, bring in purple rain. Okay, and we have the temple here, we have the holographic crystal here, and we have the Merkaba. So it's just showing you that how just one color of which is part of the rays of creation is actually interfacing or actually assimilating and integrating in different aspects of life, which shows that this one color alone speaks to different dimensions of how we perceive things. Okay, you see it from your eyes to the cosmic. Okay, this is where you're supposed to get to. You want to get to a place where all the colors become a language. Okay, because in the beginning the language that was spoken wasn't actually a vibration of like a sound, it was actual colors. So here we start to understand that an aspect that hasn't been applied to actual prayer is color, textures, okay, the vibrance of it, the soundscapes or the landscapes of color. Okay, they interface with the world on a very high level because light travels faster than anything in the planet. So we need to understand that a part of prayer or an aspect of prayer that needs to be applied is actual light, colors, vibrance. Okay, this is how your conscious and subconscious brain is able to speak to your higher level of self just through color. You see it? So the future of language, or the future of interfacing on a DNA level, or on a subconscious level, or on the highest frequency level, is colors. That means it's an actual language which speaks to different elements of the actual universe. That's why you see it everywhere. You see it? When you look at people's eyes, they're taking light in different colors. So what that means is the actual eye doesn't actually see things. It sees lights in different colors. And that's what makes reality an actual hologram. So if you was to study what light is, we look at photons. Photons are light cells which hold light. Okay, and if you was to take all those photons and condense them or put them in a vacuum, they create something physical. So when people say they don't understand what a holographic reality is, they're not understanding that just you seeing things in life, the plants, the cars, the houses, the buildings, those are condensed light. That's what matter is when you materialize something. So if you take a magnetic force and apply it to light, you get physical things, or things that appear to be physical. Okay, and in order for you to see beyond that, you need to go beyond the physical, or beyond the magnetic field. You start to see things like this, things like this. It's in the cosmos. It's galactic. See it? It's in the music. It's in the expression of different things. So when I'm doing this lecture, I'm just trying to like expand people's like comprehension of what they're seeing. But all these things, it's like a metaphysical quantum mechanic science, which physicists they study these things. You know, they apply these principles. It's just like gravity. We can't see gravity, but we know it exists because we test it. These are laws, which really means these things actually govern different aspects of life. Okay? If we go back to this prism, okay, you see this prism here. It has all these colors, and all these colors, they're found in the sun. Okay? Why do we find these colors in the sun? Because these are the rays of creation. That's what they call it. Rays of creation. And the highest ray of creation is purple. Green is just as powerful, and all these other colors are just as powerful. But they come to actually to appearance through the crystal, or the Christ, Jesus Christ, or the crystal as in like a diamond crystal. You see? And even when we go to the altar, purple. What is an altar? If we was to ask ourselves these questions. So we can even go to, let me see if I can go to this. The eye is an example of something that perceives light. In order for an eye to see anything in this world, light is thrown out into the world, and it bounces back in different colors, and it makes a holographic picture based on what it bumps into, showing you physical things. You see? So light actually interacts with different objects. You see? And they even say choose a mirror type, which means there is a mirror aspect of things, which means the eye doesn't actually see things, it actually perceives light into the brain, and the brain shows the picture, the image. So there is a distillation aspect in the brain which actually sees these things. That's why things like the pineal gland speak to things on a higher level, which is colors. So in the future where we're going to, like now we're moving into the fifth dimension. That means everything we're going to be doing is based on light, and the language we're going to be speaking is based on light. And when you go to computers, they even name, different softwares. Retina, yeah, iris, lens. See, so they're calling a part of the eye a lens. What else has a lens? A camera. Cameras have a lens. And what is a camera? A camera is a device which traps lights, okay, creating an image of things, okay, through the lens. That's why when you look at a camera, it's got a shutter on it. When they say shutter speed, okay, that means it's either trapping light at a very fast speed or a very slow speed. And if you take those images and put them on the timeline, you get a moving image, which is a moving hologram. So this is the part of people like Remedy don't understand. When people say the world is a hologram, they don't mean it. It's a hologram that a person goes on stage and sings and they put in a projector. That's an aspect of it. But if we really look at the bigger picture, or the bigger quantum computer, everything is holographic, just based on just quantum mechanics alone, which is the science. It's a methodology that we can apply. It's something that we can use to actually qualify and quantify that the world is holographic. That is a scientific fact. You see the difference? Okay, let's go back to this. I'll give an example. I'll give an example. So when we even look at trees, this is called a jacaranda tree. It's indigenous to Africa. Most people don't even know that this tree exists. But I saw a video by Remedy. He said the government is making trees turn different colors. That's obviously somebody doesn't understand how science works. And if we just apply scientific laws or theories, you should understand that depending on the seasons and depending on the type and species of different trees, these trees, they trap light and it's reflected in the leaves, showing you that it's either autumn, spring, winter. It's speaking to planets, elements, natural reality, and even the DNA level, because this is a network of organic computers speaking an expression. So this is an expression of the highest level this thing can actually project itself as, or express itself as. See? So when we start talking about things like imagination, what is imagination? If we look at this is a penthouse, yeah? You see? In the morning, you get this ambient blue, almost purple. Sometimes it might even be red, depending whether it's sunset or sunrise, because the sun is interacting with the atmosphere and causing the ambience or the landscape to express this ambient light of purples, blues, green, pinks. All these are rays of creation, which our eyes perceive the light and create the image of this. So if you used to pray, it wouldn't make any sense for you to pray in a two-dimensional prayer, which is just Our Father who art in heaven. What about the aspect of image, vision? In the Bible they say, the prophet said vision. What is a vision? What is an image? It's light. It's colors. That means for you to be able to even interface with a higher level of prayer, you need to understand that these cosmic elements that needs to be applied to the prayer. Purple, the color that needs to be applied to the prayer. Okay? Herbs, flowers, geometrical shapes like this. Even geometry is an aspect of prayer. Even mathematics, formulas, angles, chemistry are aspects of prayer. So what happens when you don't understand that there is a visual aspect of it? There is a texture and colors and light aspect of it. That means you're not interfacing on a higher level. You're just two-dimensional with it. But you have to understand there is a texture that needs to be comprehended or experienced within the senses. And if we understand that your brain has over 97 to 98 senses, which some of them are dormant, it's because you don't understand there is different aspects and senses in your brain that need to interface on these different levels. Okay? What about the color of this? What about the feeling that comes to this? What happens when you integrate crystals, diamonds, what happens when you integrate macabars, herbs, flowers, cosmic, galaxies, Milky Ways, stars. That means you're actually starting to have a deeper understanding of something, a much more profound, very rich way of understanding what prayer is. They don't teach this in church. But if you watch different lectures on different quantum mechanics, they teach this. Even the what they call pseudo sciences, astronomy, astrology, all of that, they teach this. But the only problem that we have is we categorize this prayer into one thing. When you say prayer, people think it's just Christianity, some think it's Islamic, or some people think it's whatever, but that's only one aspect of it. But a multi-dimensional way to understand it is colors, textures, sound, vibrations, landscapes, or soundscapes, or even colorscapes. You see the difference? It's an actual science to this. Okay? Let's go back to the generic understanding. So normally when people read a definition, they read a dictionary. But when you go to different institutions, like university, or you study your master's degree, study your whatever, like degrees, when you go to university, they will tell you you cannot qualify a meaning of something with just a generic dictionary meaning of something. This is what we call something that is generic. Okay? That means it's a very basic meaning. Okay? So it's a request, they say, and it's expression. Thanking, gratitude, that's what it means. Addressed. When you send a letter, you're addressing it somewhere. Okay? And the generic term would be God. You can even replace this with the universe or the cosmic law, or whatever you want to replace it, or you can even say deity, let's say. And they even got similar to invocation, interceding, devotion, orison, a service. Okay? You see that? Earnest hope. That's a very poor understanding of prayer. Or wish. You start to go to things like the genie. I will give you 3 wishes. Or I wish you to be like this. I wish you to be well. So these terms have to be applied in context, contextually, in order for you to understand the actual meaning in actual reality and context. That's what gives us a better understanding of this. And if we go into the beginning, which is the etymology meaning, or etymology definition, applying it as a methodology to qualify what we're talking about, we have all of these words, these terms like sense. Okay? I just want you to look at these words. Okay? Earnestly, entreat, treaty, government treaties. Okay? See this? Request. A quest to something. But you're requesting. That means you're redoing it as a quest for something. Okay? Entreat. See it? Contracted. It's an actual contract, it says. So that's how you break down the terms. Like English, to understand English language, you have to really understand that the words are condensed. So we have to extract them to really see what other words or terms are being used to make up this one word. Contract. It's a contract. Okay? Like contrary. See? You just have to look at these words to understand what he's saying. See it? Applicate, application, postulate, prayer, precarious, precatory, privy. See? And it's even expressed through sound, through the rain. When they say rain, it's talking about kings and gods and sovereignty, reigning, which also has a double meaning to actual, the physical rain. See it? So the planets have colors. These colors are projected and reflected in nature, in flowers like lavender. Lavender could speak about Mercury or whatever planet which is this color. All the crystals is reflected in that. Even in animals, it's reflected. In diamonds, it's reflected. Even in the cosmos, it's reflected in the galactic sense. It's reflected. You see it? So what this actually means is that the eye is an actual temple. When you study your brain has a temple. They call it, this is my temple, which means they're pointing at the head. Temple. And the temple interacts with diamonds and colors from the rays of creation which are coming from the sun, interacting with diamonds, crystals, whatever you want to call these stones, and even in planets. See it? With a red planet, so that means the red planet speaks to your lower. This one, which is kind of green and blue, speaks to your throat and your heart. And this one has got a purple one, speaks to your crown. The blue one speaks to the throat. The yellow one speaks to your solar plexus. You see? And they're different colors. Layers of the sun. See? And another interesting thing, when you look at the layers of the sun, there is a part called corona. Where have we heard about corona? Coronavirus. Okay? This is where the name actually came from the layers of the sun, which means in order for you to even be cured of coronavirus, you need to interface with the layers of the sun. That's what kills it. Okay? Quantum computer is a computer which interfaces with the tree of life on different colors. textures. So that means when you pray, you must see different colors interfacing with different objects. See it? This is a level that you see, like these people that be talking all this stuff, they will never speak about this because they don't understand. Science helps us understand on a higher level, because when somebody speaks, like Remedy, when he speaks, you can tell this person don't understand science. But if you watch different lectures of different scientists, they will tell you the eye doesn't see images. The eye perceives light, and the light travels into the brain, and the brain develops a picture that sees an image of bouncing light. Light is being manipulated through objects, through mirrors. And when we say objects, we're talking about a light being shoot out into space, and whatever magnetic force or field there is, it bounces back into the eye, and the image is actually shown in your brain, which proves that the world is an actual hologram. It's retarded. Okay? When people say they don't understand what a hologram is, but if you just study the eye alone, it will show you, it will prove to you that quantum mechanics or quantum science proves this. This is not a theory, this is an actual fact. Through studies, you study how light travels. Tesla was studying light. Einstein was studying light. He actually said light is the top vibration, is the fastest way for something to travel, is to travel at light speed. Sound travels as well, but light speed is light work. Okay, we're talking about lightning speed. So the future of the world we're living in, or the future of things where we're going, it's going to be based on light. Okay, everything is going to be light. The cars are going to work on sound and light. So what this actually says, a car that's going to be made in like 10 years from now, it's going to be working off pure light and sound. That means that the future energy of cars are going to be working on sound. Not electricity, sound. And light. That's the future energy. It's light. The future language we're going to speak is light. It's the highest language on the planet. Light. And possibly the highest language in the whole universe. So this is the lecture that I put together. If you have any questions about it, I want to expand it and do a part 2 of this. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about is objects which are actually technology. Okay, so these objects, they can be found in places like the British Museum. Different museums, they have this. Even if you go to like the Science Museum, they have all of these objects. Okay, see it? They trap light and they become activated. You see them? All of these objects, if you go to your British Museum, you're going to see them there. They are activated with light. See, this one even have different crystals in it. You see it? They got patterns. See? Technology. This is ancient technology coming back into contemporary context. See it? These look like Star Wars type of sabers. You see it? Do you know how advanced you have to be to make one of these? It takes a very long process to even make one of these. See this? It's all technology. But this technology it will not work without the aspect of light. Okay? Understanding that all these elements need to be assimilated and integrated into it in order to achieve a result. A result that speaks to different planets, cosmic forces, the cycles of the star, okay, the diamond and the rays of creation, and the layers of the sun, which even says corona on it. So yeah, creating an actual technology which is quantum, but speaking to the tree of life. And the tree of life is different dimensions, as you can see: 5th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th dimensions. Is it? But in order for you to even get to a level of the 7th, you need to be on this level here. See? See? 5th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is the crown, which is the purple rain. Yeah? You can see it's all here. But this is the Jacob's ladder, or the Christ ladder, to get to it. And in order to get to it, you need to understand there is a cosmic side of it. There is a plants, nature, crystals, music, Milky Ways, galaxies, sound, temples, diamonds, Merkabahs. And the Merkabah is an actual spaceship made of light. They're creating material things to travel at the speed of light, but inside of you there is a spaceship made of pure light. Okay? And they call it the Merkabah. And the blossoming is expressed in flowers. And the flowers speak and express geometry. Yeah. This is a geometrical expression of a flower, which means the flower is actually following a mathematical equation with chemistry applied to it to show the degrees of which this flower can blossom to. And light, geometrical shape, the golden ratio, the Fibonacci code, the Da Vinci code. That's the highest expression of prayer, is light, colors, textures, sound. That's what makes reality shake and change. It's light. It's a big difference though. So this will be the lecture on this, and I'll be expanding another lecture next week. I'll put together another lecture based on light. We're gonna study how light travels and how light actually creates material things, or how we perceive light to be material or physical through the magnetic field. So a magnetic field actually traps light and makes light to appear as physical material. I'm gonna say it materializes. And the camera taking the picture is trapping in sunlight, creating photons, which what they call today photograph, a graph of photons. You see it? It's metaphysical. And if you take a graph of photons and make moving images of photon graphs, you get video, or holographic video. See the difference? It's a big difference, bro. So we need to understand there's different aspects of even reaching to this level of understanding, because this is the highest level of alchemy there is in the universe. That's just what it is. So that means when you close your eyes to pray, you must see the colors, you must see the lights, you must see lights through vision and imagination, creating formulas which create different angles and geometrical shapes, giving you an image of something that is light. The creation is light, and if we understand the what light is, that means everything on the planet is holographic light, trapped in magnetic field. That's what it means. That's a scientific understanding of this. And it's not a theory, it's an actual fact. People like Tesla spoke about this. And even if we go to Tesla, he will show you there's different patterns, lights, vortexes, light bouncing back and forth, different objects, mirrors, creating illusions of physical things. It's a big difference though.